Yo, 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 yo. What's up, Team Takeover.tv, YouTube, Twitter, IronForgeIron.com.
Everybody.
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 I'm here with my man JMMA all day, Chuck. And
What's
what
going
a
on, guys?
crazy. I mean, I feel like, you know what's funny, man? I was trying to get other people on the vlog, and I spoke to Chuck about this earlier, is that I'm gonna have pretty much Chuck here for every vlog. I just feel like it just works out better with our scheduling and everything else. And I wanted to do this vlog early in the week, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do Strikeforce predictions, and then I'm gonna do the UFC in Japan thing. I thought, oh, that's gonna be pretty cool. Then Lesnar Overeem happened, and then I said, oh, that's gonna be pretty cool to have on there. So maybe I'll wait an extra day. And now we have another developing story in MMA with GSP and Diaz. But we're going to start off with the Strikeforce predictions. And because we have so much to talk about, um, that I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible because I really think the other parts of this vlog are going to be a little bit more exciting. But
Yeah, I
nonetheless,
agree with that.
first fight in the Strikeforce, Sergey Kharitonov and Josh Barnett fight for the Grand Prix that I think has been. I think it's whack now. I just think it's whack.
It lost a lot of luster, in my opinion, but I'm still loving the Kharitonov Barnett bracket of the tournament. Could give two fucks about Antonio Silva, Cormier, to be honest with you, but yeah, it is what it is.
First fight, Pat Healy versus Maximo Blanco. I got Blanco by KO. I mean, if you want to go on and talk more about
I
Blanco,
think I would have to say Blanco is going to run through Pat Healy. Blanco hasn't fought since the Sengoku New Year's event, which is now the defunct Sengoku. He comes out of Yoshida Dojo. I think he's training with Greg Jackson now, but I am not sure. Don't quote me on that. But he should win this fight. A lot of JMMA fans know Maximo Blanco for his exciting style, relentless attack, and if you don't like Maximo Blanco, then you just a fucking douchebag. Plain and simple. Maximo Blanco, KO, TKO, first round, next fight.
Haja Gracie versus King Muhammad Lawal King Mo. I got King Mo by decision. Mo's coming off a really long layoff with the injuries. And
lost to Cavalcante.
Of course. And you know, Haja, I think this is his fifth fight in MMA. I mean, this is gonna be a rough fight for him. Nonetheless, I got King Mo winning by decision. I mean, anything else?
I would have to say Haja Gracie coming off 4 wins, most of them submissions, 3 of them rear naked chokes over Prang Lee, Randleman, and Yuki Kondo. I don't think King Mo's gonna be able to avoid it. I think he's gonna either get subbed out or lose a decision from just not having the better position throughout the 3 rounds of the fight. I'm picking Haja Gracie decision, and should be a good fight. Stacked event, great fight. Haja Gracie decision.
All right. Next fight, Ronaldo Jacare Souza versus Luke Rockhold. I'm picking Jacare. I think he's going to run him over.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really care much for Luke Rockhold. Don't really know much about him. Be honest with you, I like Jacare. You got to pick him. Pick him by submission, first, second round, whatever he wants. I just don't think Luke Rockhold has what it takes to defend all those constant submission attempts on part of Jacare. So I'm picking Jacare submission round 1, round 2, whatever submission he chooses.
Definitely. Next fight, Daniel Cormier, Olympic style wrestlers versus Antonio Silva. Of course, Cormier is in because of Overeem being out of the Grand Prix. I have Silva winning in TKO second round. Cormier is pretty much, I don't know. I don't see this. He can't. I don't know how anybody's able to kind of avoid Silva's really good jiu-jitsu and his massive size. And I
Yeah.
think that's going to be the big difference in this fight. So I'm picking Silva. Anything?
I I think the same. I'm gonna have to say the same thing. Silva's too big for him. As good as the wrestler as Cormier is, I just don't see him being able to take Silva down. I see Silva keeping it on the feet. And even though Daniel, his boxing has gotten a lot better, he's 8-0 now. He just boxed Monson the fuck up in his last fight. I just don't think he's gonna be able to pull this one out. I think he's gonna get his first loss, but I think it'll probably be by decision.
So, and the main event, Josh Barnett versus Sergey Kharitonov. Really excited for this fight. The other fight that I was really excited, aside for this, for me, was the Roger Gracie King Mo fight. But nonetheless, I think Barnett's going to win. I think Barnett's going to be nuts to try to keep it on the feet. I expect him to take him down and submit him in the second round. And listen, Kharitonov definitely has skills, much skills, and he could go either way. It's not like it's a 100% great fight. Which actually, when I look at it, a lot of these fights are kind of one-sided with the Strikeforce event, But this fight is a little bit more evenly matched, and I'm gonna pick Barnett, second round submission.
I'm gonna go opposite from that. I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Barnett, as good as he is coming in with a 7-fight win streak. The last fight was the easily manhandled Brett Rogers with the arm triangle. Kharitonov coming in off the KO win of Arlovsky, and a few fights before that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's been more active, it seems to me, lately. Kharitonov is, and I think he's good enough on the ground to defend the submissions and whatever Josh Barnett has to bring. And his stand-up is definitely better than Josh Barnett's. I'm picking Kharitonov, second round KO, and I hate to do it because I rep Washington, and Josh Barnett, we're from this PNW, Pacific Northwest, but I got to go with Kharitonov because that's my boy. It's one of my favorite fighters, and I just don't think Josh Barnett is going to be able to sub him out. I mean, look at Sergey with the Minotauro fight and all the fights in his past. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely got what it takes to hold his own on the ground with the best of the best. I'm picking Kharitonov, second round, KO, TKO, and should be a great fight regardless.
Definitely. And I'd argue with you more, but we have so much to talk about. Next subject, UFC in Japan. This is huge. I'm a little disappointed because honestly,
I'm a lot disappointed.
Look, beggars can't be choosers. Obviously, a 10 a.m. start time in Japan is
so
rough.
Disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. I mean, to cater to the North American fans with a 10 a.m. start time where the event is actually taking place, and to do it to the people that you fucked over initially, taking away the greatest organization that has ever known, and then you throw a 10 a.m. start time at them. And I just don't see this event doing well because the Japanese don't give two shits about Okami. They don't care. They don't know who Takeya Mizugaki is. Fucking,
Sexyama.
Huge.
Maybe Sexyama.
Even Sexyama, the majority of the Japanese hate him for fucking the Grayson situation against Sakuraba back in Heroes or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't see this. The only person that I see that, and they have the people to make the card successful. Put Crow Cop, Overeem, Nogueira, Wand. You don't have to. I don't want to see a Brazilian card with all Brazilian fighters and then a Japanese card with all Japanese fighters. It's kind of, I'm not going to say it's racist, you know what I mean? But It's like they like more than just their fucking own fighters, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just ridiculous. It's disrespectful, I think. And I don't expect them I don't expect this card to do well. And the way it's looking, I don't think they're going to be back in Japan for a while. Well, and I hope they don't taint what Japanese has going with the JMMA scene because it's still going strong. With Dream 17 coming up, and I just got to stop. I could ramble on about this for hours.
I know you
What do
could,
think?
and definitely, and of course you guys have the Twitter account up there, and you can above his name, so you actually could talk to him more about it because he was on fire about it on Twitter. A couple things to worry about. It's at the Saitama Arena, correct? So they have to do very well. They have to do very well.
20,000. I think I heard they're looking for like 20,000 in Saitama, which is reasonable. It's not overshooting. You know what I mean? Because they put like 50,000, 60,000 up in for the GSP fight in Canada, and they could do huge numbers in Japan if they were just fucking good to the Japanese. You know, just be good to them, give them what they deserve.
Let's see. Hopefully, if it's possible, if the MMA gods are listening, let's get Sakuraba on this, right?
They will. They will. He's coming up on Dream 17, so let's look forward to that. He's fighting a 9-0 fucking Brazilian, you know what I'm saying? And Cabral, I think his name is. So never fight an easy fight, Sakuraba.
So every time that man loses, I cry, man. I swear.
Definitely. Definitely.
Bro, this last fight was with the one with the air. His air was.
I was just more disappointed that he didn't get to fight, but let's move on. We can talk about this for hours.
And the next topic of discussion, the big topic. Before the big topic today, Overeem versus Lesnar, New Year's Eve. Not New Year's Eve. New Year's.
December 30th.
Yes, the weekend.
Get your shit right, Wayne Shada.
Hey. I think this is like the biggest fight ever. I want to say
it's a huge fight in my opinion.
Yeah, this is I think of very few fights that I think would have been good, big, huge, obvious or are huge. Crow Cop, Fedor was one.
Yeah.
I thought Lesnar Carlin was a huge fight.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to top as far as buy rates and as far as views.
Yeah, pay-per-view sales.
Oh my God,
just hype. It's going to get hyped for the fuck till December 30th. This is going to just be insane.
Wow. And here's the thing. I have so much to say about this because I'm scared right now. I'll tell you why. You know, I'm cool with the whole Golden Glory camp.
Yeah.
And I've been introduced to them. I talked to a lot of the fighters. So I'm like, I love Overeem. But Lesnar is also one of my favorite fighters. I mean, these are two of my favorite heavyweights. And I don't care what anybody says. Call me a Zuffa zombie or whatever. Lesnar always goes out there, has an exciting fight. He only shit talks people that shit talk him. And listen. He makes MMA fun. He doesn't
turns him down.
Wow, do I think this is like him being thrown to the wolves, man? I mean, the guy is out. Dude, I don't know.
I see this as turning in one cash cow for another almost. Because I don't see Lesnar having a chance with Overeem. I just don't see it.
Yo, here's the thing.
That's just me.
Here's the thing. Like, my friend Joey was texting me. He's like, dude, like, what's going on here? Like, you're going to give Lesnar a harder fight? I mean, look, in my eyes, I don't care what anybody says. I think Overeem's a top heavyweight champ. You know, top heavyweight.
If you argue otherwise, then
you can make a case. You can make a case for Kane. For Kane, but I look, man, he's definitely, in my opinion, the number one heavyweight in the world. With that being said, again, the MMA gods, and I hate to wish ill on anybody. I wouldn't mind if Lesnar got diverticulitis again.
I know, right?
Like a small case, just a small. Dude, this is rough. This is rough for Lesnar, man.
Of his colon removed.
Oh my God! I tell you what, man. I had so much fun when Lesnar beat Carwin. I had so much fun trolling my friends, texting people, going crazy online, man. If you went on my Facebook, you would have seen Oh, the amount of talking that I did. Oh man, and here's the thing: Lesnar was exposed. And it's what's crazy about this is that I had a conversation with Overeem at Times Square in a goddamn Fridays when we talked about the same subject. And I asked Bloodstain was there, and he asked me, he goes, "What do you think of Lesnar?" And he says, Overeem went ahead and he started this talk about Lesnar. He goes, "Listen, the guy's really good. He's a tough guy. He's tough. He's not a walkover." He goes, "He's a really good fighter. He's got the fighter spirit." He said, "The thing with Lesnar is that he wants his sparring partners to go half-ass with him when they spar."
Yeah.
And because of that, people like Pat Barry, who would normally just go at him, they don't, because Lesnar does not like to get hurt and hit. That doesn't mean that Lesnar has a bad chin. What it does mean is that Lesnar is not used to being hit hard and getting rocked. And, so his reaction, and I'm sure we'll discuss this when we do a preview vlog for that, is to back up and hide or run away or do a spin. Or,
he just shells up and turtles up and usually gets hit. Usually one of the punches usually gets through and connects, and then he just usually doesn't know what to do. It seems like.
It's his first movement is to go and retreat. Retreat. But listen, this is going to be a big fight. You don't know what could happen. If Lesnar wins this, wow, that would be shocking. If Overeem wins it, it means that I guess he could definitely hang with the UFC fighters. Zuffa Zombies are going to go get on the bandwagon.
Immediately.
Of course.
Immediately.
It means another big super fight between JDS and Kane against him.
Whoa.
You think it would be another?
I thought you were jumping to conclusions.
Oh no! I'm saying no. Either one. And then I think it just the fact that Overeem's in the UFC is awesome. It's awesome.
The only thing I don't like about it is I want a Badr rubber match.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I don't like about it. If all goes well, Reem wins this fight, wins the title, defends the title maybe 5 times, and then goes to K1.
Yeah, unfortunately, and hopefully Badr still has it, and both these guys still have it.
I know they want the third fight.
Oh, definitely.
They can't leave it 1-1. They gotta settle that.
Of course
not. And all the fans want it.
Mm-hmm.
I want that more than I want any fight in the UFC. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have him fight in K1, but that's just me.
Yeah. So, with that being said, definitely a big fight. Really gonna be. I'm excited about just talking about it. It's gonna outsell any event. The buy rates are gonna go off the roof. Much props to Lesnar for agreeing to fight. Everybody makes fun of.
Much respect.
Everybody makes fun of Lesnar. Whether you like him or not, he's got a pair to go against Reem. Because I would have said, let's throw him against, I don't know, somebody. I mean,
especially coming off the long layoff and having 6 inches of your colon removed, and then fighting fucking Reem in your first fight back. Mad respect. Yeah. You can't even front on that. If you try and talk shit on that, you're just, I don't even, it's ridiculous. That's fucking crazy.
I'm torn in this fight. I guess over the course of the next couple of months, I'll decide who I want to win or who I think is going to win. And now we go to the big news. Yeah, man. GSP versus Nick Diaz, another big super fight, has been canceled. And
it's been gone to the wolves.
And I'm going to talk because I don't know what your stance is on this. Here's the thing. Originally, when I looked at this, when I was so looking forward to this because I love Nick Diaz just talking. I just like to hear the guy talk. I love Diaz. I love the guy. I love the way he carries himself. There's definitely a rebel attitude to this.
But he's humble.
Yeah, he's humble. There's a rebel attitude. Going into it, I turned on the UFC stream on the website to watch this press conference. Thank God Twitterland actually reminded me about this Zombie Prophet. Shout out to him. He actually was the one that reminded me, and I put it on. Of course, the first part of it, you heard like Nickelback, like, you know, fast forward and slow down.
Like, fuck, here we go.
So I'm like, oh man, they're gonna do what they did with Brazil and like have like a horrible press conference. Somebody recommended, I think the guy from Phuket Top Team tweeted me and said, go on the YouTube stream. And I did that, and it turned out to be okay. Towards the end, the stream kind of messed up. UFC's got to do something about that, the audio problems.
They got it, man. They got it. It's 2011.
It was tense. I'm very disappointed. Awkward. I'm extremely disappointed, man. I can't even tell you how heartbroken I am that this fight's not happening. My first reaction was, and I'm a person that I think I carry myself, I speak well, I carry myself with, you know, a very business-like attitude. My first reaction was, how goddamn unprofessional is Nick Diaz to not show up to this press conference? Part of being a fighter is to promote. Now, I know it's mostly the job of the promoter, but I'm sure that, I don't know if I don't know the contract with the deals with the contract, but I'm sure Diaz has a percentage of the pay-per-view buys.
He must.
So why would you not want to sell the fight? And the fact that people are, look, GSP could put you to sleep with some of the ways the way he talks sometimes. He's just so cookie cutter. With every interview, it's so cookie cutter. You know, I think the most controversial thing he said was, I wasn't impressed with his performance. That was the only I don't think any. Is there anything else that sticks out that this guy said that is like, wow, that was enlightening? You know.
Just what he said about Condit being a better, more dangerous opponent to him. I thought that was kind of ridiculous and kind of fucked up when I first heard it.
Yeah. Nonetheless, Dana, it was such a tense. I've never seen a more bizarre occurrence in MMA, in my opinion. Do I think Nick Diaz is unprofessional? Yeah, I do, actually. I think it's part of your deal to talk to people. Like Dana White said, I'm with Uncle Dana when it came to, you could have sat there and, you know, just flipped the bird off to people and you know, sat there and
just be there.
Yeah, just be there. Just, you could be drunk. You could just hang out, and you don't have to be happy. I'm still disappointed, man.
It just recently happened, and it's still unfolding, and it's still new. You know what I mean? But my whole thing is, Diaz has never really fucked with press conferences. It's been known for a long time that the guy hates doing them. He's got bad anxiety. He can't deal with all the people, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to. Yeah, it's a part of his job, but UFC going into this knows how they have to deal with Nick Diaz. And they know they should have seen this coming. And for Dana White to say that, oh, well, no, I'm not sure if he's going to show up on fight night. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody, all the real fans have said it on Twitter. Bloodstained Lane, one of the few, along with Nick Diaz in his video that he recently posted, saying, when has Nick Diaz ever not shown for a fight, regardless of all the press conference bullshit, which is, it's history. He doesn't like doing them. It's a proven thing. It's a known thing. And Dana White has to know that. You know what I mean? He has to know that. And I just think there's a lot more to it than what's out there right now. Because Diaz always comes to fight when it's fight night. And everybody knows that. And it just either seems to me that Dana's trying to tarnish Nick Diaz's name with the casual fans right off the bat, and make it just look like it's 100% Nick Diaz's fault. But I think you definitely have to share some of the blame, because if Dana White wanted this card to be successful and he wanted the card to actually go through, he would have known that Nick Diaz, he would have tried to cater to Nick Diaz's needs a little better. But that's just my opinion. I hope he doesn't get cut. I hope he has another fight coming up. People are saying BJ Penn or whatever, but I just think, yeah, it's a little unprofessional on his part, but given his history, it should be expected.
Yeah, and going through the press conference, I was definitely saying, you know what, Dana was right. Dana was right. Dana was right. I had my own friends. I had Blood Saint Lane yelling at me. You know, what the hell is wrong with you? This is this is that. I finally stopped letting my emotions get to me because I was really upset. I'm still upset. I sat back. I watched the press conference. I watched Cesar Gracie talk, and Caesar's like, "There's no excuses." And yeah, he's right. There is no excuses. It's very embarrassing. I'm sure it's embarrassing for him, where he said, you know, Caesar is talking about how he ran out the door, you know, the back door, and all this other stuff. What struck me,
that tells you right there, there's something up with his head.
yeah,
Something that nobody just can understand besides Nick Diaz. And you got to try and make that easier for him, make the transition into it easier for him if you know he's having a hard time.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if you know anything about Nick and Nate, the Diaz brothers have gone through a lot in their lives. They're tough guys, you know. They grew up in the streets.
Fuck yeah.
So I mean, part of that might be his whole social anxiety thing. What struck me as the most important or weird comment came from Dana saying, "Does anybody else here think that this was not believable, or Nick could have possibly not done this? Does this surprise anybody that Nick does this?" And the fact that he said that statement struck me as really what changed my mind. Aside from reading what everybody else says, because J Rod was as well, and Dono and whatever. What struck me about that is, so if you're expecting that this might be a issue, I have no problem with you fining the hell out of him. Fine him $15,000 for the tickets that you claim.
Yeah.
Fine him for, if you want to fine him $30,000 for, dude. I normally I'm all about like allowing, you know, fighters to get the most money, but in this case, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You return the phone call unless you have a medical emergency or a mental issue. You definitely call the guy up and just return the phone call or text him like, "Yo, I just can't do it." Like I think all he had to say was, "I can't do it. I just can't. I can't show up. I'm nervous about this. I can't do it. I'm sorry." That's all he had to say. And
it's pretty simple.
I know that as a man, it might be a little awkward, you know, but it's easier through text or something. Obviously, it's definitely unprofessional. It's wrong that what he did, because whether or not he would, you know, people are flying over to go see this fight, and you know, you got people spending money and you know their hard-earned, you know, time, and you know, people save up for this stuff. You know, it's wrong.
I was gonna buy the pay-per-view. This was gonna be the first UFC that I didn't illegally live stream, but now I don't think it's going to happen. I was going to throw down $10-15 with a couple friends and enjoy the event, but now it might be a night alone in a live stream.
Yeah, so I mean, dude, it's definitely wrong. I'm not making excuses for Nick Diaz. What I can say is it's definitely unprofessional. Dana should never have canceled this fight. If you expect the guy to not show up to a press conference or have issues about this, you had prior to him signing, you said, "Listen, you got to play the game, or you got to, you know, whatever." If you know this is an issue with him, don't cancel the fight. Fine him. Put it in his contract. You must show up to all press.
Put a clause in his contract.
I don't know why.
It's that easy.
All he has to do was fine the hell out of him. You know. Again, you know, a lot of people are saying, "Well, you don't know what he was going through." I mean, look, let's cut the BS. We know that Nick Diaz just didn't want to show up. It's a prick move. It's a prick move, and I like Nick Diaz. It's a prick move for him not to show up.
It's kind of a prick move. I can agree with that. But I think there's got to be more to it than just him not showing up.
Well,
gotta be.
What's interesting now is, and this, I don't know if I just saw the video. Now Nick Diaz responds. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw the video.
And that just
a little bit.
It makes everything even more bizarre.
Yeah, it leaves a lot of room for thought, to say the least. You don't really. I know a lot of people probably think, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Because I watched the video 4 or 5 times just to really listen and hear, and I understand what he's saying a little bit. You know what I mean? He's never not shown for a fight. It's what he does. You know what I mean? He doesn't like the press conferences, but he's never not shown for a fight. And there's something more to it. There's got to be something more to it.
I really I was just shocked when I saw that. I mean, it's just a bad business to even show up and do a video like that. He should have, the Zuffa zombies are going to be an attack.
Just look at the comments on the video.
Yeah, I mean, like I could honestly read. I can't defend him when people say, well, if he had time to do a video, he had time to call Dana White and say he couldn't make it. Look, the blame goes both ways. The blame goes both ways, and I would say it's more on Nick Diaz's side, and I'm a fan of Nick Diaz, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't defend his actions. What I can defend is the fact that the fight shouldn't have been canceled.
No, shouldn't have. Dana White knew what he was getting himself into. He knew the possibilities of Nick Diaz's behavior. He has a history with Nick Diaz. He knows Nick Diaz, and for him to go into this event this far and then pull out for this reason is bullshit to me. But the Carlos Condit GSP fight, it's still gonna be a good fight. I hope Condit finishes him, and then we get GSP Condit. Or we get Diaz Condit.
That's if Uncle Dana decides to have mercy on him.
Yeah, I don't think they'll cut him. They can't cut him. Not for this. That'll be too, I think, a little too obvious to the casual fan, and maybe put the UFC in a bad light. And we know that they don't like that.
This is such a messed up situation, man. I mean, when you. It's crazy because it's making Nick Diaz look horrible.
It really is.
There isn't much to defend him on. And I'm sorry if I upset my friends who are Nick Diaz fans, and they're saying, they're online saying, "Oh, this is awesome. He's the man." He's not the man for doing this. He's not the man.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the man. When you have your own trainer, I mean, Cesar Gracie, saying like, "I can't defend him on this." I mean, you can't defend him.
I can't condone what he's done. It was wrong. Even Cesar Gracie said, and to hear Cesar Gracie say that really hits home, because that's his dude, that's his team, that's his family right there saying that. So I just hope all is well with Nick Diaz mentally and whatever. And I think people need to just chill out for a while and just let it play itself out. I'm sure there'll be much more announcements, in the near future. Maybe he'll fight BJ Penn. Who knows? But I just hope he doesn't get cut, because Nick Diaz is one of my favorite fighters. And he always fights for the fans, always in exciting fights. Complete opposite of GSP. He finishes almost every time, unlike GSP. And how can you not like that, Well, I mean, I like press conferences and shit too. I enjoy them, but I lose more when you cut the guy because he didn't show up for a press conference. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather if he doesn't show up to any press conference and he still just shows up for the fight, I'm happy. But if you cut him before the fight because he didn't show up for a press conference, it's just a waste of time for me. It's just bullshit.
And I know
I
it's
think.
just the
But
press conference. It's a matter of,
obligation. You're
yeah,
obligated
I
to be
understand, and
there.
I understand where Dana White. Look, I think, in my opinion, what Dana White did was wrong. I think he should have had a little leniency. But
He
given
said he
the
had thick skin. He said he had thick skin, and
yeah,
then he does some shit like this. Like, get out of here, bro.
but what I will say is that look, I understand why he did it. I understand why he did it. I understand why he did it. And I've seen it
Yeah.
like 4 times, but it's still fresh to me, man. I'm really upset about this fight. I was all for it. I was gonna go out and
This
buy
was the fight.
I was gonna go out and buy the Nick Diaz T-shirt. I really was. I was gonna go
Yeah.
out and get a poster for sure. I really was gonna get a poster.
I got my signed Nick Diaz pictures. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying for the past year and a half that Nick Diaz can be GSP, and then once it finally comes to fruition, it gets snatched away from me. You know, and that just really pisses me off because Nick Diaz is my favorite welterweight fighter. You know, it's just a sad state of affairs right now.
yeah. Let's see how this all transpires. Um,
Sure, there'll be another vlog soon to
yeah.
cover.
I mean, if everything goes well, I'm sure by this weekend we'll have a very good idea of what's going on. I'm sure that Diaz is probably gonna have to play to the media now. I'm sure
Definitely,
Ariel,
definitely.
or else the media is gonna bury him, and the fans are gonna bury him, and people are not gonna be so excited to see him fight or pay to see him fight. There'll always be people. I'll pay to go see him fight. Just there's always going to be the casual fan that goes, "Oh, Nick isn't showing up to this. I don't know."
Yeah, just the haters.
And I got it both ways. I got it from my friends. I got it from people that, and I changed at first I was all for him canceling the fight, because as a boss and a business person, you depend on people, and it's your obligations to show up and do these things. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people are writing, well, it's only Dana White's business to promote this fight. Well, it's also the business of MMA for fighters to promote themselves and
Yeah,
make
that's a
themselves
huge
stars.
part of the
And I
game.
understand that Nick Diaz isn't a Hollywood star, and he's not, he doesn't have to go out there and do all these interviews. He doesn't have to, but you have a moral obligation.
You really do. It's something you learn when you're a kid working your first summer job. You know, be on time. You're obligated to be there. It is what it is. I just hope that they give him another fight and he gets that 170-pound strap. That's what I hope for.
I don't think Dana. Man, you know what? I don't know what Dana's thinking, to be honest. After that video is not helping him out, and
No,
that
no, definitely
that
not.
video of him cursing in the car and driving is not helping him out. It's not.
It's just, if anything, I think it's confusing people a lot more.
Mhm. I would have preferred silence or a tweet saying, "Hey, I'm okay, I'm alive." Because then
Yeah, yeah.
it went from, did he go out and do something stupid like to himself, suicide? Like the rumors and the jokes about this kept on going and going.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking stupid people, man, out there who are more concerned about him pulling out of the fight rather than his well-being, which
Mhm.
is even for an MMA fan is just fucked up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Show a little compassion. Like, even like GSP was said, I don't know if something happened to him, family member died or something, but you gotta hope everything's okay.
And what a sad day. What a sad story, man. But nonetheless, this is how we got to
Just
end it.
pisses me off, man.
Let's hope that this Strikeforce card is really good. Um, you
I
know,
think it'll deliver. I think it'll take everybody's mind off of the sad things that have happened recently in
yeah.
MMA, or at least I hope so.
And if there's something crazy that goes on within the next couple of days, I'll do another vlog. I know this is like 40 minutes, the longest one, but look, this was a lot of stuff to talk about.
This could be fucking 120 minutes
We
long.
we gotta work on. I know I keep on saying it. I gotta get this on iTunes. I don't know if you know how to do it. I gotta find out
I don't.
I gotta find somebody, maybe Zombie Prophet or some. If somebody could help me out, or just tweet me, or DM me or whatever, explain to me how to actually put this online.
How to make this as a podcast?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's the future of this vlog, mainly because I understand what everybody's saying. I get a lot of comments. They can't watch it on their computer. It's rough. But I'm sure
my biggest fans do. My biggest fans do, but hey, not everybody wants to.
Look, I get over 300 views now, and I mean it's 200 sometimes, but 200 to 300 views. For me, that's like a huge honor. The fact that people are willing to sit here and watch this,
And it all depends as to when you put out the video. We could be sooner with the videos.
Yeah, and I worked it out with Chuck. It looks like I'm going to do. Unless I have somebody that's really begging me to do the vlogs with me, and he understands, I really did intend for this vlog to be definitely interactive with all Teen Takeover members and YouTube and Iron Forges. I definitely intended that. It's just that, sometimes I'll I wait on people to do a vlog with, and then
it's difficult. It's the timing. Everybody's in different area codes, time zones and shit.
It's rough. So I will be getting these vlogs in sooner. So most probably like Sunday night, the next vlog will be done. Because I know a lot of these have an expiration date after this weekend. Most probably people could care less what we predict about, because they'll know the results.
Yeah.
Either way, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you to Chuck. War Nick Diaz. War Japan.
War Nick Diaz all day.
War Japan. War, for me personally, War Overeem and Lesnar. And I want to see Barnett win this whole thing, man. I told him in person this. I want to see him, I want to see him win the whole thing. I want to see him win the whole thing. So, peace out. Shout out to everybody. Peace.
Peace out, guys.